Mandela was in prison. When he was released, everybody thought South Africa was going to go to war.
Africa and Africans have been through a colossal destruction.
That's what happened. Now here, this is PDP.
Let me throw some light on this.
No.
He said, okay, there is an issue in Somalia, and Museveni said, look, if you can't pay for the army, we'll go to Somalia.
You can't.
Sudan never succeed to quill us into slavery. It never. Over Arabization.
Welcome to Africa Speaks of Today. My name is Stephen Malindra, and I do hope that you always having a wonderful time despite all the problems that we have at the moment with the COVID-19. As I say, welcome to Africa Speaks. What have I got in today's program? So many other things that you're going to hear about today from two of my very good guests. But first and foremost, there's a more diaspora investment in Africa now than before. Is this the way forward? This is one of the questions that we're going to try and answer in today's program. Now, since independence, African countries have tried all models of development. Some have gone for the agriculture sector, others have gone for industrial one, others have tried both, but without success. At the beginning of the 21st century, technology became cheaper, and there are more educated people on the continent than ever before. However, Africa is losing billions and billions of dollars each year through poor planning and corruption. How can these problems be overcome? The diasporas only can't solve Africa's problems, but we'll try and have a look at how this can be done. Now, with me in the studio are two very wonderful gentlemen. The first one is Mr. David Smith, the chairman, British African Business Alliance. Welcome to the program.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The second one is Mr. Andrew Jason, the Managing Director of British African Business Alliance. Welcome to the program as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, you've heard in my intro, the diaspora is one area that you people are working with within your organization. And it has contributed enormously to Africa's development in terms of sending money back home and so on and so forth. And you guys have worked with this group and you've tried to invest in Africa. What is the main problem you're facing in your organization and that you're seeing other people who are trying to develop in Africa are facing? What's the biggest problem of all in terms of you're going in, you're meeting the politicians, you're meeting the local people, you want something done, but something is not being done? Do you face these problems at all? Or everything is green, you go in and you do the investment and you come out?
No, I think you hit the nail completely on the head when you start talking about the issues of investment in Africa. And the diaspora community contribute hugely through the remittances flow.
Yeah.
But what I would say to you about that, in my opinion, is that the remittances are emergency payments.
Yeah.
It's send me $100 I need to do this, that, or the other. It is not consistent investment. It doesn't fit in terms of how a business is set up and run and operating.
Okay.
I would say the corruption is the major issue because it puts people off. But the corruption isn't always the issue.
Yeah.
The issue is the levels of trust and confidence. Okay. It's the quality of the plans that are being prepared.
All right.
And when you're asking people to risk their money on a project, they want to know you've got the right answers to all the problems that they think you're going to come up against.
Okay.
So you've got to build a plan that will deliver, and then you've got to have a management team that will deliver.
To do that, yeah.
And if you don't have either of those things, you're unlikely to get the money, and you're unlikely to get the political will. So
It has to be a balance.
It has to be a balance. I see it very often as a chair. If you only have one leg on the chair, it's very difficult to sit on. If you have two legs, you can rock backwards and forwards or side to side. If you have three legs, you begin to have stability. But even without that, something will come and knock you over. If you have four legs, the money, the management expertise, the political will, and the technology, you need to bring those four things together.
But with education, a lot of educated Africans, should we still be having this problem?
Well, first of all, I think David has hit the nail on the head on listing the four major challenges that we face. But I think, in answer to the question about education, Africa is perhaps one of the most, or you find the most educated individuals in the diaspora. At least with the most educated group of diasporans in the West, in the UK and America and other countries. But the education that we're talking about here is academic. It's for different roles or different jobs that they perform, but not necessarily in business. So where we often have problems is people come to us with an idea of a project they want to run, but they don't have the understanding of how to run the business, of what the investors are looking for. And so even though you'd have someone that has a PhD in an academic field or in the particular field where he works in, when it comes to the issue of running a business, without the requisite experience or the expertise or even knowledge of what it is that you're trying to achieve, there is a disconnect when we go to start talking about raising funds for such projects. So education is in itself, yes, a lot of that here in the diaspora, but the education that is missing is in understanding how to run the business, how to raise capital, how to structure your idea so that somebody that is viewing it can view it favorably. So I think, that's
what is the most successful story you've had so far? A successful story where you've gone in, like you've explained to me about Sudan at one time, and then you explained about Zambia, I think Zimbabwe. These are the countries, and you've gone in, and then you come out and say, oh, this still. You feel at the heart of you've really done a good job, and it's really progressing.
So the issue that Africa has to grapple with is what needs to be done. And then it needs someone to say, I will be the one.
To do it.
And I will learn everything that I need to learn to make that happen. We invited a minister from a southern African country. I can't talk about the project.
No problem. No
particularly because it's not yet at a stage where it's public knowledge.
All right.
But when they visited the UK, we introduced the minister to 25, 26 different businesses and organizations that would positively impact on her community when she went back to her country. As a result of that, there was a further trip in February this year, and an evaluation was done of the project, and contracts were signed to take that forward. We heard last week that an international investor has now committed $133 million to that project. There are still hurdles to go. On one hand, you have a college lecturer. On the other hand, you have a minister of state. By those two people working together, that we were able to introduce the technology. The investor was introduced as well. And so we have something coming together. But if you say, what is the most successful? Any business being established is good news. We have a small engineering company in Birmingham. They make a block making machine for building houses. And
is that successful in Africa?
It's very successful in Africa. We are their largest source of new business because we introduce them to people in the diaspora, and people in diaspora take their machines home and they start building. They start building houses, they build warehouses, they build whatever it is they need, clinics, schools, all of those sorts of things taking very basic technology that works on the ground and gives them an advantage over buying stuff locally.
Okay.
And I would say that is a great success. Some of the successes we're having at the moment are with UK companies who are discovering that we are a link that enables them to find the right person to represent them in another country.
Okay.
So we have a company that came from Liverpool. They sell 900,000 units of their project of their product in the United States.
Okay.
They now want 54 distributors.
Throughout Africa?
Throughout Africa.
Oh, right, that's great.
And they're in Liverpool. We were talking with a company on Monday last week through our Newcastle group. They're into 3D printing. They want distributors in Africa. And here we have the educated African diaspora, people who are engaged in business, who come forward as potential partners to those companies.
Now, my biggest problem, rather, I've had it over a period of time, is that most Africans who are investors, and they are Africans, and here in the diaspora, have different agendas. Others want to go in and maybe become politicians by using development as a key to their success. Others, it's something different. Now, because of their different agendas, and they come to you, and you are the people to help them in one way or another, how do you satisfy these egos?
We don't.
Because you don't.
No.
You don't work with those egos.
No.
Because their egos are going to be there. I can see this as a big challenge.
I think I look at it this way. We invariably we have a lot of business leaders in Africa and some in politics as well, who also are looking for UK businesses to lend technology to whatever projects they want to execute as well in Africa. Some of those policies or some of those projects they're trying to put in place will be, for their political campaign and obviously for their own specific benefits. But the way we look at it is this. We want to help create jobs and opportunities in Africa. If somebody comes to us and says, I've got a fishing port, I need 2 vessels. Do you know anybody that can supply your shipping vessels or fishing vessels? We have a network in Devon, and in Devon, Cornwall, we've been able to get 1 or 2 companies there that could potentially work with them. We don't have a problem introducing them as long as we've looked at the plan and we are satisfied ourselves that this particular project is sustainable. So if you want to build a fishing port and you want to empower your local community and create jobs, and you want to use that for your political campaign, that's fair enough. As long as we know that that project is going to be there for the foreseeable future, we are satisfied. Because our agenda is just help UK companies, help African companies, and create jobs.
And that's why I was saying we don't pander to the ego. Just because you want to do something doesn't mean it doesn't have to have a plan. Why should we introduce you to the technology if you're going to misuse it? We have our reputation to work with our members. And this is one of the big differences. And I think it's something that the diaspora has to come to terms with. They are reluctant to join membership organizations because they've been misused in the past. What we want to do is build a strong network of business professionals who are coming and looking at business opportunities. And by having that focus, it moves away from the personality. There is a personality, there is a leader in every business. But we don't mind whether it's a business at this big or a business at that big.
Now, the corruption side of it is something else that we also face, that you face, and I could say we all face as people living in diaspora. We want to invest back home, but the channels of the politicians are different. I'm from Uganda, and so many Ugandans have come to me, and they've been at the Ugandan seminars which are taking place here, and you hear their stories. They take their business to Africa. They take their business back home. They want to invest. Uganda investment, you've been there to the Uganda seminars that I've happen, I think, every November, October.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Uganda Investment.
September.
Yeah, in September. Now, the issue has always been, you hear stories of people going in and then coming back with their fingers burnt. And then you hear the organization going in. Do you face this problem as well of corruption, where somebody, like I said, Richard Branson went in, he gave this to a seminar, 80 million. He says, no, I'm not paying this money through corruption to do a business deal, when that money should have been invested in Nigeria, for as he said, Nigeria, and employing more than maybe 2,000 to 4,000 people. Why should I give it to one individual? Now, you guys have come across this at all in your fields?
It raises its head.
Yeah.
It's never.
But then
it's never come up in relation to any particular deal. And the laws controlling what we do in this country.
Yeah.
And let's face it, our focus is UK.
Yeah.
It is Africa, but it's Africans in the UK. We do meet people on the continent, and we do talk to them about what they're trying to do. But the laws that govern what we do are here.
Yeah.
So many of our members will say, we do not stand for corruption of any sort. And I certainly will not be involved in anything of that nature. I think that...
But you've heard of what other
I've heard of what you... But what you've got to do is protect your project.
Oh, right, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And therefore you have to find a way to engage with the right people in power.
Oh, right, yeah.
To get the right licenses to be able to operate your business legally. And you need very, very good legal advice.
But that's where the problem is. The people in the power are the very people at the very height of corruption. I hear this all along in Nigeria.
It's interesting.
There is an awful...
So he's from Nigeria, by the way. He's from Nigeria, by the way. But I'm not particular. I'm singling out Nigeria because it's the biggest country in Africa, and the stories from Nigeria are well known, and they come out on a regular basis. It's easier to point the finger, but it's there in Uganda, it's there in Kenya, it's there in all other African countries. So don't take it personal.
Not personal at all. I fully agree.
But if we go on saying that we can't do business in Africa because some Mr. Big decided to try and bribe Richard Branson. And you saw what Richard Branson's response was. That should be the response of all your colleagues, of all the people who bring these stories to you. No, I'm walking away from this. I don't have to put my money here. I can put it somewhere else where it is safer. And I think that, one of the biggest opportunities is for Diaspora Investment to be properly structured, legally properly structured, and for projects to go forward that properly impacts on the communities where they are targeted. I mean, there's a big conversation at the moment about how to get electricity around Africa. And I think that the historic view has been, we need pylons, we need wires, we need generators, and we need substations. And the infrastructure involved in that is hugely expensive. And the distances that it has to cover are huge. And I don't think there's anyone in the world who can afford to put those wires in Africa. Because as soon as you put them there, someone's come and chopped them down. And then you're lost. So what we have to find is how to use the technology in the right way. So we're talking with a hydroelectric company, been working in Africa since 1900.
1900?
Since 1900.
All right.
And they work in a number of countries, and they put generators into rivers.
Into rivers?
Micro hydro. Okay. We know the solar story.
How about the solar?
We know the solar story. We have a company in Sussex. They put solar, they put water purification, and they put communications into a 40-foot container. Wherever you can drive a container, you can now be as connected as we are here in the centre of London.
Right.
Listen to that.
Okay.
Every village goes from paraffin and charcoal to electricity, pure water, and communications, every school connected to the internet. That's where people in the diaspora need to be thinking about, how do I positively impact my community? At a level where Mr. President says, Steve, you go and do what you need to do. It's too small for me to be worried. When you want to build a dam, come and talk to me.
Because the dam is bigger.
The dam is bigger. It's easy to lose a few million in a dam. But I think what the diaspora needs to concentrate on is, what do I do to solve a problem in my community? What can I do in my industry? How do I change the way this country works, where I have the power to influence?
Exactly.
If I can come in on that as well, I think, and being the only Nigerian here.
No, that's not true.
Being the second Nigerian here, I would